and produce numbers that some people in the industry haven't been able to produce their entire lives is noteworthy. And this year, breaking all records tremendously with a Rookie of the Year sales of $12.2 million. Is a leader, is a money man, is somebody who everybody, when you know him, you gotta love him. Let's give it up right now for Steve Galvan.
Just awarded with a very special designation, or a very special honor, an award, Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year.
For Keller Williams Heritage 2019.
Yes.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you
That's
very
you
much.
did great.
Yeah, it was a dream for me.
All right, today's episode, we're gonna mix it up a bit. Today, I get to sit down with my brother, Stephen Galvan. Now, I don't have a studio, I don't have an office really that is good enough to host the interview, so we're doing it here in the lobby. As you can see, it's a little crazy, a little busy. So if there's a little sound, if you hear people in the background, that's what it is. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Come on in, yeah. So, really wanted to take you guys deep into my brother's story. I wanted new agents, seasoned agents, or people just interested in real estate in general to see what it takes to build a real estate team. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you can, please subscribe, like, comment, ask me any questions. We can keep bringing good content to you guys.
It's a dream for me.
Yeah.
Very excited to have achieved at a high level and actually broke the record, the pre-existing record, which was my initial goal when I got into real estate.
Okay. So what was the record? Now let's break it down for everyone.
Okay.
What does that mean? Rookie of the Year. What was record? Tell me all about it. Just kind of educate us on the money, on all that.
All right,
stuff.
so Rookie of the Year designation is your first full year in real estate. So it's basically when you start at January 1 to the December 31st, that time that you did your first full year is your rookie year.
Okay.
So my first full year, which was my rookie year, was 2019.
Okay.
You have to have the most volume
Okay.
sales to win.
So like $100,000 house is $100,000.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and the average price of a home last year was about $260,000. So if you sell 4 homes, it's a little over $1 million.
Okay. Okay. What was the number that was previous, and what did you do last year?
The previous year was 6 and some change.
Okay. Well, the record.
The record was 8.7,
Okay.
which is what I believe Scott Maloof told me. 8.7, 8.8, something there. And that range was the previous.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What did you do?
So according to my math, which it could be maybe $100,000 off, but it's about 12.4.
Okay.
12.4 million.
So 12.4 million. So,
Yeah.
so congrats on that. That's
Thank
huge.
you.
Now, that is 50% more
Roughly, yeah.
than the record, the biggest one ever before.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
So it was a big deal. I wasn't sure what I'd do or how I'd come to the number I came to. It just kept working hard. Things kept happening good for me. So here I am.
Yep. So tell us a little bit about how you got into real estate. Tell about your background.
Well, right out of college, I went into the car business. A year and a half later, after I had my best month selling cars, they brought me in the office. I thought I was going to win an award, and they fired me. So
Why did they fire you? I didn't know this.
Yeah. I don't quite know. I was really young. I was 22. I didn't know much. I didn't have a mentor, and I think that I know the economy was kind of tough, and I think they were just. I don't know. I really don't know. But it's good that I didn't know, because it made me really look into what am I doing. It gave me a wake-up call. Hey, the world is pretty cold and cruel sometimes, and you better be on top of your game.
Yep.
So it was a good wake-up call for me. I then went into business with my father. We were buying land for government projects, for mostly waterline projects, so buying rights of way and easements. I did that all the way up until 2007. Then we lost a big project. I had no work. I did some traveling and took a year and a half or so off. I played poker for a living, online and in person. That was fun. But then the poker money ran out, And
And that was hard to live. You can't,
yeah,
up and down. You're grinding.
Just pull your back of your jacket down. Yeah. Thank you.
sure.
Sorry. Chris, go ahead. You could set
All right. So the poker lifestyle, that's seems glamorous, but that's a grind, huh?
Yeah, not glamorous at all. It was a grind, a lot of nerves, and so. But I enjoyed it. It was for sure temporary. I knew I wasn't going to do it for the rest of my life, so I just kind of rode the wave as best I could. Then I sold billboards
For Clear Channel, right?
for Clear Channel. I met a guy selling a billboard who's in the oil and gas industry. He convinced me that there was way more money in it. I met another guy that was in the oil and gas industry, started working for them. I hated it from day one, so I quit my...
Why'd you hate it?
Because I sat at a desk with no computer. I opened a book called Dun & Bradstreet, and I cold called people from Michigan. I cold called people from Washington all day long, made 200 phone calls a day, and tried to get them to invest into oil and gas projects in Texas. They had never heard of me. They didn't know who I was. They didn't hear anything about our company. So it was very difficult.
Wow.
I had no fulfillment out of it. I would routinely get out of the office and take a walk around the building to clear my head, and I would cry. So because I didn't want to do it, and I didn't know what else to do. So as soon as I made a couple of sales and made a little money, I got out immediately. I started a gym in my garage, and it turned into a full-fledged business. And then about 3.5 years ago, I was meeting with this landowner on a little real estate project I was working on with my dad, and he asked me how much land I owned. And he said, "So how much land do you own?" And I said, "Sir, I don't own any land." And he said, "What the beep is wrong with you?" And it just all hit me. It's like he verbally assaulted me in my ego and my intentions in life and my manhood. But I didn't take it personal. And the very next day, I went to Champion School of Real Estate, and I was very curious. How much does it cost to be a real estate agent? And they're like, it's about $1,000. I was like, well, $1,000, I'm used to spending that kind of money in my gym. So I called my wife. I said, can I borrow $1,000? And she said, sure. I signed up for classes immediately. And then I started meeting with brokers and friends in the real estate game to figure out whether I was going to do commercial or residential. I realized I needed to do residential because you could make money way quicker than commercial. So dove right in, and I just realized that this was it for me. I get to help people, I get to help families, I get to educate people in investments, and now I get to grow a team. I get to work with my brother, who I've wanted to work with since day one. I wanted him as a part of my team because I know his talent level, and I know his dedication to people and his high level of integrity. So it took a few months, I don't know, 8 months or so of
At least, yeah.
badgering
Badgering.
Chris. And I don't know, maybe I even showed him a few paychecks. I was like, look, like this, it's real. And we got the wifey on board, and here we are.
Yeah. So let's back up a little bit to being a coach, because you went over that really fast, but that was almost a decade of your life.
Right.
So you were a CrossFit coach.
Yes.
You owned a CrossFit gym.
Yeah, CrossFit and weightlifting.
Okay. What was the gym called?
It was called 210 CrossFit.
Okay.
And I started a club called 210 Weightlifting Club. It was one of the first weightlifting clubs in San Antonio ever, and I ran the first weightlifting competition since the 80s. And so I revived weightlifting in South Texas, in San Antonio specifically.
So, all right. So let's back up a little bit and talk about the 10 years of your life in the gym business. You owned a CrossFit gym.
Yes.
What was it called?
210 CrossFit,
Okay.
210 weightlifting.
Okay. And so how did that, being a gym owner, being a coach, how did that prepare you to become a real estate agent? Do you think it helped?
Oh, absolutely. So owning a gym is a total labor of love. There wasn't a lot of money in the gym business for me. No gym owner in San Antonio really, really crushes it financially. So I'd have to get up at 4, be at the gym at 4:50, and work sometimes till 9 p.m., clean the gym, mop it, do the blogs, process payments. I was just a one-man show. And then deal with people and their vulnerabilities, losing weight, getting stronger, not making progress. What do I do? Not having money, personal, personal challenges that they had. So I was dealing with coaching people through life, not just through fitness and health and wellness. So it took a lot of emotional intelligence to deal with that. And so that years and years of that, hours and hours, I mean, tens of thousands of hours coaching people, being there for them, encouraging them when I was encouraged. And so that helped me dive right into real estate, into people's personal challenges with their home, with their hopes and dreams. I was able to really just dive right in and help them, and I wasn't afraid.
Okay. So it seems like new agents would be intimidated to talk to people that are buying or selling a home, because could quite possibly be the biggest paycheck they've ever made if they think about it.
Right.
But you, coming from a coaching background, you were used to being kind of in charge. You were used to being the one giving that plan of action, the strategy. And do you think that's what helped fuel your early success?
Yes, I think guiding and directing people, making sure they understood the steps so that things were clear and there was no ambiguity, that helps people feel comfortable when they know what's going on and they don't feel lost. Also, dealing with the emotions of a house is a little different than dealing with someone's personal physical challenges. Maybe they're overweight, maybe they have diabetes, maybe they have osteoporosis. Those are real challenges, whereas a home and money is less, I think, impactful than someone's actual health and wellness. So I was in a very much dealing with sensitive subjects and sensitive issues. So the transition to dealing with someone's financial situation, or where they lived, or where their kids went to school, it wasn't overwhelming for me at all.
Now,
Can you fix that cable? See how it is? Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Okay, sorry.
now money's still a very sensitive issue, but when it came to people's health and wellness and their own personal like demons or whatever, that you feel like that trumps a little bit more than just having a home and selling it.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, if it's nothing's really a problem if you can write a check for it. Yeah. So people having money or not having money, yes, that's a thing, but someone that's very sick, or they're mentally in a bad place and their self-image is poor, that to me affects their life way more than them wanting to buy a bigger house. Yeah. Not to downplay the need of a bigger house for their kids, but every day waking up with yourself and not having the confidence or the strength to live the life they want it's pretty sensitive.
Yeah, you can't really write a check to fix that.
No. It takes a lot of time and hard work, and you have to encounter someone with the knowledge and the expertise to get you there.
Yeah. So you're looking at a $12 million plus producer a year. Hopefully that as that grows with a team, and your life could get a little more complicated and more wacky. What's a typical day in the life for Steve Galvan?
Well, during the week, it would be get up pretty early, 4 to 5 a.m., work out, pray. So I pray and I have some coffee and maybe a little food. And then I do a little work. I let the food settle. Then I go hit the gym. Then I'm up and at 'em, ready to go with work by 8:15 time frame. Sometimes earlier, sometimes a little later. But I've already accomplished a lot in 3 or 4 hours. Then we have meetings with the team. I have emails to respond to, and so half my day is responding to people, reaching out, and then the other half is generating new business or guiding my team to generate business, because you have to lead with revenue in this business. You have to fill up your pipeline, so it's constantly looking for the next person we can help.
Yep. And the reality of that sounds like a very organized, disciplined day, but in a week, how many hours you say you work? And in Rookie of the Year, what it took to get there, how many hours a week did you work?
I'd probably average 65 to 75.
Okay.
So right at 70 would be about a good average.
Now, has that changed a little bit since you have a team?
Yes, it has.
Okay.
It's so much better having a team. I highly recommend anybody to get the help they need and not to do it alone. And that's why I begged you to come in, because man, I needed your help. I needed your energy. I needed your enthusiasm. I didn't want to do this alone. I still don't. So I would say 40 to 60. It really depends. I'm doing a little more traveling sometimes on the weekends, so I don't work as much. I've learned to put my phone away and not go crazy answering it. So I'm still not opposed to working 60 to 70. And in fact, it's going to happen this spring and summer. But right now, it's nice to work 40 to 50.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's a good little recharge.
And so you said you have you're married. Tell us a little bit about your wife.
Yeah, so I met my wife through the gym weightlifting industry, and we've been married 2.5 years. October 28th of 2017 is when we got married in Costa Rica. She's my big why.
Yeah.
Like waking up every day to make sure that I support her and our future kids. It brings me so much motivation and drive. When I started dating her, I was in the gym business and I wasn't making very much money, so I didn't really have anything to contribute financially. I had some good jokes, and I worked out, so that I had that going for me. So now she supported me for the first few years while I figured it out, and now I'm supporting her. She's going back to school to get her doctorate as a nurse practitioner in Incarnate Word. So she's got a 3-year program, and she'll be a doctor. And so it's my turn to support her. She's my big reason why I get up every day and work real hard.
Yep. So you said future kids, so no kids yet.
No kids yet.
But who else lives at home with you?
We have 2 dogs, 2 golden doodles. One Prime's 105 pounds and Rocky's about 80. And we love them so much. They're pain in the butt sometimes, but man, we miss them. Yeah, we miss them every day.
Absolutely. So if you were to tell someone that's thinking about getting into real estate, if you were to encourage them to get in it, what would be your reasonings for them to get into real estate?
Well, everybody has to have a why, and why they wake up every day and what they want to do. For real estate, it's educating people about a huge transaction, possibly the biggest transaction financial transaction they could ever do in their life. It's also a place where they're going to live. They want to feel safe. They want their kids to have a school to go to. So if you're going to get in this business, know that you have to be a servant to your clients. You have to be a constant knowledge seeker, making sure you understand the ever-changing laws, the ever-changing industry. So being a trusted fiduciary of your client's home and their money, and really wanting to make sure it's a win-win always. So come in with a servant leader attitude and a positive mindset. And if you can do that, and you can do it every day, and you're okay with not making money only when you sell something, only when someone gets what they want, then this is a perfect industry for you.
Awesome. So let's talk. We're going to do a couple little quick short questions. First deal you ever did, who was it?
His name's Paul Lazo. The street was Forest Frost. I think it's 3414 Forest Frost. Well, maybe we cut that out. So it's Paul Lazo.
And
Yeah. So I don't want to dox him. So, okay.
All right, Steve. So if we go back and I'll ask you a few questions. First deal you ever did?
It was a buddy of mine, Paul Lazo. He came to my gym for a month, tried it out. It wasn't for him, but he told me that he wanted to buy a house. So when I got my license, I called him and I said, hey, I remember you telling me you wanted to buy a house. If you're interviewing real estate agents, I want to be interviewed. But if you're not, I want to be your agent. He said, okay, you can be my agent.
That was it?
That was it. And
All
so
right.
he
What did that teach you?
Ask for the business.
Okay.
Don't be afraid. And I never have a problem with confidence. I never have a problem asking someone for something. The only time I ever did was when in 6th grade I asked a girl to dance and she said no. And I really did never want to ask another girl to dance ever again. It was tough for me to hear no. I didn't know how to react to it. So that's really the only time is like rejection from females was like.
Who is that girl? Let's dox her.
I have no
All
idea
right,
who
then.
she is. I hope no, but I want to sell her a house.
Maybe. All right. So what was the biggest deal you've ever done in volume?
719 or $721,000.
Smallest deal you've ever done?
Well, my wife and I bought a $78,000 house that we needed to rehab.
Well, let's who you
One
represented.
So if I had to do it, $110,000 townhome over off Marbach,
Okay.
close to Ray Ellison Drive.
Okay. Biggest month you've ever done in volume.
2.1 or 2.2 million,
Okay. And how much? What is that in commissions?
over $60,000.
It's over 60,000.
Yeah, I've done
in
it
1 month.
Yeah, I've done it a couple of times.
When you were making 20,000 a year, roughly.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
I've in 1 year made more than I did in 10 years owning a gym. Thank God.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yes.
Well, Steve, congrats on Rookie of the Year. Very
thank you.
well earned, but well deserved.
Oh, one more time, sorry.
All right. So, Steve, congrats on Rookie of the Year.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Well deserved, well earned. You worked your butt off for it. I wanted to bring you on and just tell your story. I think people need to hear it.
Yeah.
I think people need to know how hard of a job this is, and that really, at the end of the day, a lot of people can do this job.
Anybody
You
can.
came from a background, not really in real estate, really, but you came with a background with people,
Yeah.
service, coaching, and a tremendous amount of fire in your belly because you needed to make a big change in your life, right?
Yeah. Serving people. If you're okay with that and doing whatever it takes to make it a win-win, and you really truly care about people and their goals, then this is a perfect industry for you.
Yeah. So I encourage you to if you listen to this and you go back and re-listen to some of the nuggets that my brother said, talking about what it takes in the first year, not to be afraid to ask that girl to dance, even if they reject you the first time, right? But that it doesn't matter your background as long as you have the willingness, the work ethic. To do it, and so I'm proud to be on your team, man. I thank you for getting me this.
I'm honored
business.
you're on my team, buddy.
It's a life changer for me personally. So congrats again, Rookie of the Year 2019, Keller Williams Heritage, biggest.
thank you.
You broke all the records
Yes.
by more than 50%. So congrats, brother.
Thank you, man.
Thanks,
Thank you very much. Love you,
Absolutely,
man.
love you too. All right.